To display the gospel faithfully, a church must prioritize first protecting the gospel faithfully, right? You cannot live out what you do not know. You cannot live out what you do not clarify and meditate upon and remember and apply and proclaim and pass on faithfully. You cannot display together what you do not guard together as your common truths, as your most vital commitments. And so, central to carrying out this first command to display the gospel is this description of what that looks like as a foundational requirement, as a continual practice, and that is to stand firm in one spirit. The call to stand firm highlights the temptations to waver, the temptations to retreat, the temptations to give ground, to back up, to hide, to not fight for what matters. It highlights that the church must be a training ground for soldiers, spiritual soldiers. The church trains up each generation that is born again in the Spirit to rightly understand, to clearly discern, to fully trust, to accurately apply, to proclaim the gospel of Christ. The church is an equipping center in that way for the presentation of the gospel, for the life implications and applications of the gospel. It's a hospital to bring healing to those who are hurt by errors and enemies of the gospel. And so we must state the obvious. The church is not a show. The church is not an event to be attended for entertainment. The church is not an optional addition that you put on or add to an already packed lifestyle. The church is not one of many activities that you just kind of plug in to the schedule. The church is essential for accountability in the impact of the gospel to define and refine us. And we ever need that help, that fellowship, that growth, lest we allow evil or error to creep in ever so subtly. We must defend the gospel.